Well, the Orioles have a lot going on with injuries, updates. Let's head out to the ballpark with Jim Hunter and Roch Kubatko as we have an update on the School of Roch.
All right, Amber, thanks very much. And for this week's edition of Roch Kubatko and the School of Roch, we took Roch on the road with us just to change it up a little bit. And Roch, fortunately, is feeling pretty good about things. And some good news today on some of the injured Orioles.
It's a field trip for me today at the School of Roch. Yes, my back and hamstring are both feeling good. I iced myself down. I'm ready to go.
Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. Jeremy Guthrie's throwing a light bullpen session today. He said he woke up feeling really good. His back was better. He's still in line to go ahead and make Tuesday's start in Pittsburgh. So fingers crossed there. You never know with the back. It could seize up again. But right now the news is good. He'll do some light throwing in the pen. He thinks he can take the ball on Tuesday. Brian Mattis woke up this morning. He said he felt a lot better. He jumped out of bed. He was able to touch his toes, which I haven't been able to do in years because I have other issues. But the leg felt good. He said it's a little sore from the hamstring cramping up. That's to be expected, but it's feeling better. So he'll play catch today. He's still in line right now. He would make the start on Friday if my math is correct because the Thursday's off day. That'd actually give him an extra day's rest. Buck Showalter's not committing to anything right now. They could start him on Friday. They could push him back a couple of days. They could skip him. We'll see, but there's good progress right now. The leg is feeling better. Luke Scott, not quite as good. He went out with the back spasms yesterday. He's going to go ahead and get some treatment, and he doesn't think he's available to pinch hit today. He's hoping he can play tomorrow. Buck would rather he didn't announce that he's not available to pinch hit because the other side hears that. So Buck said, you know what, by the middle of the game, later in the game, that back might feel better. Maybe I can still use him. But right now, I think Luke is targeting tomorrow.
We're all awaiting when Blake Davis gets into a game. Blake promoted yesterday, and this is a real good story because not that long ago, really just 2 years, he was the top shortstop prospect in the organization. He's kind of reinvented himself, but he earned his way to the big leagues.
He did. It is a weird story how he got here now when he's more of a utility guy. He was mostly playing right field in the minors, but I covered him in spring training in 2009 in Lauderdale and 2010 in Sarasota. I honestly forgot he was still in the organization this spring. I felt bad. They had an inter-squad game. We're leaving Ed Smith Stadium. We're like, is that Blake Davis over there or Michael J. Fox? Because they look a lot alike. But it's like, he's still in the organization. And even Buck said, did we use him in any of the games this year where we brought the minor leaguers over? And it's like, no, just the inter-squad game. He's not on the 40-man. He really kind of lost his prospect status, and yet here he is in the majors now. And, in 09, you're right, he was like the top shortstop prospect. Dave Tremblay loved him. He thought his glove was ready right away, just needed the bat to catch up a little. He's playing a little bit of second base, and we were debating, could this guy be the starting shortstop? And then about halfway through camp, we look out the window one day in the parking lot, and he's on crutches, which is never a good sign. It turns out that he had fractured his left foot, and that really derailed his career. And talking to him about it, he says he thought he always had a slight hairline fracture. Even in college, the foot would get sore when he played, and it would stiffen up on him. He'd have to work it out. And he was on the beach with some teammates, a little bit of horseplay, he admits, and he ended up breaking the foot. And he looks back now and he says, you know what, it was kind of a lesson learned. You got to take things more seriously, because now when I'm on the beach and I see guys, I kind of step back, I fold my arms and say, you know what, I'm just going to watch, not taking any chances. So I kind of learned his lesson. But when you think about it, that probably would have happened anyway. At some point, that foot was going to break, but it really did set him back, and he had to kind of, like you said, reinvent himself. He's a utility guy, right field, shortstop, second base, third base, and, he's excited to be here. He's got all his family here, his wife's here, but interesting that now he makes it when he was off the 40 and a utility guy.
It's been a frustrating 2 days here for the Orioles. 26 base hits in the 2 games, but only 6 runs. Now, as you talk to the hitters, are they frustrated and maybe pressing that they can't get that big base hit with men on base?
Yeah, they're clearly frustrated. You won't find many guys who will ever admit they're pressing, but they have to be, and especially guys in the middle of the order who aren't the big run producers that they need right now. And that's a Luke Scott, and that's a Derek Lee, it's a Vladimir Guerrero. Those guys really are feeling the weight of the world right now, and so it's natural that they're going to be pressing. It's hard to get 18 hits and score 4 runs. I mean, you try that. That is hard to do, and they just need one ball in the gap with the bases loaded to score some runs and open the floodgates, and they just haven't been able to get that big hit right now. And what's interesting, and I went on record, Friday I said Derek Lee should be the cleanup hitter against Jason Marquis because he had great numbers against him. People shouted me down. Look at the numbers Derek has this season. I said, that's the slump buster right there. What happened? He got 3 hits off Marquis, had a 5-hit game, 2 more hits yesterday. Who's batting cleanup today, Jim?
I think that's Derek Lee.
I'm just saying, if people would listen to Roch, more than just a handsome Masson face here with Jim Hunter. So maybe that can stir things up with the lineup to have him batting cleanup right now.
All right, now make sure you find your way back to Baltimore. This road trip here today, and happy Father's Day.
Thank you, and you too. And we're spending it together. I don't know what that says about us, but how about that, huh?
And happy Father's Day to Demper back in the studio. Amber, we'll send it back to you.